Hello, this is Josh from Monastery Dropouts, and tonight I wanted to talk about our flaws and the challenges that we all have in life. And a lot of times we talk about these spiritual experiences moving from one form of consciousness to a wider form of consciousness, and it all sounds like everything should be always blissful and amazing. And since we experience pieces of heaven and we experience heaven, we think that everything is perfect and the person is perfect. And one major teaching that I'd like to discuss is the idea that enlightenment is just the beginning. One of my greatest teachers that I traveled with and I experienced for several years, his name was, or his name is Cielo. He's a Buddhist monk, and I traveled with him for quite a while. And he always would say that enlightenment is the beginning. And now that I've experienced wider states of consciousness, I can see what he's talking about. And so you go into states of enlightenment, states of higher consciousness, and you feel complete bliss, and you feel complete power, and your self is wider, and you're feeling this radiating consciousness. So you have that, but you still live life. And you still have to go through the muck of what it is to live on earth. And so, for all those people out there who are hurting and they have challenges, I want you to know that you're not alone and that we all go through it. And there's a way out of that suffering and you can move into it. But just because you experience God, or you experience wider consciousness, or you experience bliss, or you experience peace, or you experience a wide power, it doesn't mean that you may still go back into that life that you had, and it still may be difficult. There are people who can go into those heavenly states, and they go in there enough and they keep holding on to that for years, lifetimes, and they're just always in it. So whatever's happening to them, they don't care at all. They're just always in this bliss state, and their little self means very little to them. And when you have those experiences, that's what you feel. You feel that the little self means very little, and it's all kind of a joke. It's all kind of a play that you're just watching. But for most of us who have experienced those states, you still come back to life. You still come back to the challenges of life. So I just don't want people to feel alone in that. And I want to give a good example of that. And that person is Alan Watts. He's one of the most famous spiritual teachers of the last century. And that man ended up dying of alcohol disease. He died at a very young age, in his early 50s, I believe. And because of that, do I think he's a false spiritual teacher? I don't. He taught a lot of amazing things, and he helped a lot of people. But he had these things, these challenges, or these dark spots in his life that he never was able to get beyond despite his spiritual experiences. And I think that's a very, very real example of things that we experience in life. We're given a bag of challenges from a young age. Our parents give us these gifts. They give us benefits. They give us a lot of strengths, but they also give us a lot of dark things, dark mindsets. They give us addictions. They give us all these types of flaws. And some people have it better, some people have it worse, but they're things that we have to work with. And for instance, most people in this age have a lot of anxiety because we lived in a hurried up culture. Especially if you live in Western culture, you're constantly being hurried, and it's an individualized culture, so you kind of have to bear those things alone. So because you experience those things doesn't mean that you have some sort of horrible spiritual flaw. You're a human. And the way it works is how they describe Christ. They describe Christ as fully God and fully human. And when we're in those divine states of consciousness, we've merged with the divine. But we also are fully human. We have to deal with the human qualities of our minds. So some people deal with mental health issues, some people deal with financial issues. These are all flaws that we all get. And it's part of the joy of life is working on these challenges. It's part of the gift that we can give God, that he can experience or she can experience or it can experience these things through us. So don't view these challenges as horrible things that shouldn't be there because you're spiritual. They're there because you are spiritual. And your spiritual life will help you through those times. Because as you hold on to those experiences of peace and bliss and expansion, it only helps you move forward, move out of those traps. So, just to say it again, remember that enlightenment is only the beginning. And so, you'll go into those enlightened states for periods of time, and then you'll come back out of them. You'll go back into them, and then you'll come back out of them. And so, that's part of the journey. It's just like meditation. You try to hold on to those deeper states as you go on through your day. So you start your day with a meditation, and then as you start moving through your day, you try to hold on to that wider view. And then if you let go of it and you get stuck in the dramas, then you try to go back into it and you just kind of keep going at it and keep going at it. And there's a phrase from a movie, I don't remember what movie, but I had watched it 20, 30 years ago, and one of the phrases is rise and rise again until lambs become lions. And that's how I view the spiritual journey. You fall out of it and you go back into it. You fall out of it and you go back into it. But as you feel peace within you and as you feel that expansion within you, you just keep trying to get into it until you can hold it for longer and longer periods. And the challenges that happen throughout the day, if something really difficult happens, ideally what will happen is you will be able to stay in that deep state and you'll be able to smoothly glide through it. And if you mess up, you will get 1,000 more challenges, 1,000 more chances to do it over again in your life. So that's the great thing. It's a beautiful thing. So just remember, whatever states of spiritual experience you've had, you can have greater ones, and if you've had great ones, you can have even greater ones. But the idea is to carry them throughout the day as long as you can. And if you're having a lot of challenges, that's okay. We're all going through challenges. All humans are going through challenges. And that's why we have compassion for ourselves. We feel love for ourselves, and we feel compassion for other people, and we feel love for other people, because we're all going through this challenge of life together. And we can all experience this feeling of connection with other people. And so let's do this together. Let's go through this journey together, and let's keep digging deeper within ourselves, knowing ourselves better, loving ourselves better. Let's do it as a community, and just remember as you go through these challenges that the universe loves you. The universe wants what's best for you. And if you let go of those thoughts and the emotions, you will feel that deep inside you, as I feel it now, and as I feel that towards the people who are watching. That love comes from within you, and you can feel it every day. And it helps to start with loving yourself completely. So thank you for watching. Thank you for being a flawed human being like the rest of us. This is Monastery Dropouts. Have a good night, and I love you very much.